Hi, I am doing a Journey to Life blog review on Creation's Journey to Life blog from day 29 called The Invincible Mind. I'm just going to start by reading the self-forgiveness statement that I want to talk about. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that I have used the invisibility of the mind as a reason to give it the character of invincibility because I can think and say anything within the mind without any direct, measurable consequence. The reason I was interested in talking about this particular self-forgiveness statement is because I had a recent experience with this invisibility of the mind where you can really think anything you want or believe that you can think anything you want in your mind without any consequence. So I realized when someone had asked me what I was thinking, and I said exactly what I was thinking, and without even really thinking about what I was thinking, or taking the time to assess whether it was something that should be spoken or not. It was kind of an experiment that I did in that moment, and it turns out the thought was a judgmental thought about the person, and it turned into a conflict. And I had to end up apologizing because obviously I had no right to judge the person. So um, in our minds, we think we're thinking all the time. And when the person asked me what I was thinking, I had to be like, oh yeah, like I wasn't even aware of the thought that was going on in my mind at that moment. I had to take a second to remember what I was thinking. Um, so that just shows that I wasn't conscious and of the thought, and we're not always conscious of the thoughts that we're thinking. Had the person not asked me in that moment, what am I thinking, I would have pursued that thought for who knows how long and built up back chats about the person. And even though there would not have been an immediate consequence, well, there was an immediate consequence in that moment because I spoke the thought. But if I hadn't spoken the thought, um, I know where it would have gone because I have had to do a lot of self-forgiveness on back chats I have about myself and others because consequences do eventually happen, wherein it comes out later, the thoughts that we think, and it comes out in, it just builds. Let's say I continue to judge a person in my mind, and I start justifying why I'm right and they're wrong, and why they deserve to be judged, or um, you know, what they should or could be doing instead of what they're doing. And in a moment that builds up, and then in a moment it will come out where I'll say something based on those beliefs that I've been accumulating and building within myself in my mind about that person, instead of just interacting with the person as an equal in presence and awareness in the moment, dealing only with what they're saying without judging who they are judging their words based on anything other than whether what they're saying is relevant, or whether the benefit of what or the outflows of what they're presenting is beneficial or not beneficial. I mean, other than that, it's it doesn't really matter. It's about just treating the other with the dignity and respect that you yourself would want to be treated and interacted with. So, uh, this self-forgiveness statement that talks about the invisibility of our mind, meaning the thoughts and everything that goes on in our mind is not seen, and therefore it is invincible because you can have judgments about people in your mind and they can't defend themselves, and you can believe anything you want, and nobody will ever contest because nobody knows. So you can think you're right about all these things that are going on in your mind because each one of us is literally God in our mind, because what we say goes. And so imagine that everything you thought was spoken, like I experienced in that moment, where what I thought I did speak, and there was a consequence, and much deserved. Um, Imagine everything we thought we said, and this may not sound like much, but if you start becoming aware of what you're thinking, you'll see that it's not always very nice. And sometimes it can get pretty dark, each and every single one of us. So there is a consequence to our thoughts and to what we think. And the self-forgiveness process is all about slowing down the mind and actually taking a look at what we're thinking and what's behind our thoughts and actions, and changing everything that we think and do from a starting point of self-interest without a consideration for others to a starting point of considering the whole and considering ourselves as a part of that whole. Therefore, what's best for the whole is best for us. And this way of being will create outflows that are best for all. And it's a matter of being aware of what you're thinking and just stopping the thoughts that will create the negative consequences, and instead having what goes on in your mind be the same as what goes on outside of your mind. So no secrets, no secret mind, no secret thoughts, no secret beliefs about who you are or who another is. And so I thought that was a really cool self-forgiveness statement, and basically one of the main points of the process of self-forgiveness that everybody involved in Destiny and using the Destiny tools is busy with applying in their own lives. Thank you.